Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with the Help Academy Sports Coach 2025. I want to talk to you about a session that I designed to work on breaking lines. So with breaking lines, a lot of things we want to talk about going into this is the concept of, the simple concept of putting defenders behind you. If the ball is closer to goal, the more defenders behind you, the easier it is. We can talk about breaking down a 4-4-2 in terms of like, okay, so and I think sometimes players don't even recognize it's a line. The 2 is a line, the 4 is a line, the 4 is a line. And you're trying to get past those and attack those areas. We'll generally do grid maps and things like that to try to get them to kind of understand, hey, this space in between these lines is where we can do most damage. This is where we can attack. So every time we can get past each of those lines, it's defenders behind us, and we can go and then attack the space between those and open them up and move those lines. So they're not straight lines; they're lines with gaps, and we're trying to pull those gaps out and attack the space between those lines. And just kind of trying to get them to grasp those concepts as much as possible, which seems simple in theory. But I think it's not something they always think about. It's not something they always kind of make a connection between, oh, this formation and then these guys are lines and this is that and this is why we're doing this and it's really I think it goes a long way with just going over those simple things and explaining them and getting that concept down for them, and not just relying on the fact that you think, okay, well they should know, like, it's a line and you break it and go forward and this midfield's a line, the defender's a line, and really get your verbiage in line in terms of how you want to talk about that and how you want to talk about attacking space and how you want to talk about how you're going to move and attack these spaces and what we call that, or your call signs and stuff like that. So I think it's a really great time to just sit and diagram a lot of this stuff and get the concepts across to them before getting into this session. To get them, yes, we want to go forward. Yes, we want to go past the defender, but why? What does this do? How does this move the defense? And I think that's a really good opportunity before this to maybe do a chalk talk before you even get out there. But the drill we're going to start with here is I call it 3-line game. You got a line of defenders, you got a line of attackers, and a line of attackers. And players can move and pass anywhere in this grid. They can move to each other. But what we're trying to do is when the defense moves, right, maybe they don't move quick enough, this person should slide here, so this player can't break the line. He moves right here. So if we try to go down the line, he steps. If we try to split here, he steps. But if he doesn't move fast enough, we attack that, and we're looking to break a line and pass the ball through the line to the player on the other side. And obviously in a real game, we're going to maybe play a ball over the top and things like that. But this one, it has to be on the ground. It has to be to the player's feet. Can't exit the grid. It can't be overcooked or anything like that. It's got to be to their feet, and that's a point. And generally, what I'll do is like a 2-minute game. Every time you break a line, the team in the middle has to do a push-up. So if they end with 8 broken lines, they have to do 8 push-ups, and then we switch groups. And then the team here moves in, they become this team, and the team goes to the other end. And we go like that, and we rotate them. I generally let them move as much as possible within the grid. A player can dribble, they can move passes. But you can also move the speed up and make it a little more challenging. You could maybe do a time limit or a set number of touches or passes that they can only have before they have to try to break the line and pass the other grid. So a couple different options here, but I think it's really great for giving that conceptual look of, like, here's the line. Can you get past this line? Now, how do we get past the line? We move the ball to shape the defense. We attack situations where they don't step, where they're flat. Okay, if you hear they're flat, break the line. Here, this guy doesn't slide over, we break the line. And just finding opportunities and things for them to do to break those lines, and discussing those things. So yeah, what I would do from here, and again, you can kind of do a couple different things here, but what I would do from here is we would move on to what I call a gauntlet. So we're going to a little bit bigger of a space here, maybe the oops, let me get these guys out of here. Maybe we're breaking this into half field. I might even just make it only the width of the 18, but that's up to you. And I'm going to have, so basically we're going to go 6'4". Put it here and here. And I'll have, now I might have a goalie, I might not, just because it's going to be more of an advantage to have the goalie here. Because it's a 5v2 instead of a 4v2. So that's up to you. But then I'm going to have a 2v2 in this grid. And so what I'm going to do here is, essentially we're building out the back here, and we're looking to break that initial line, right, and get them behind us as much as possible. So we can break the line with one of our defenders and get into this space, or we can break the line to our attackers. So essentially, you have a 4v2 here, and you're trying to get the ball to one of the 2 players in this grid. You can't score directly from this grid, so you have to do something. So they're pressing you, right? This guy doesn't slide. Same thing we did in the last drill. We're trying to take advantage of that, so we play a ball through here. We break the line. He moves forward, and now we're attacking that space in between the lines. Okay? Now we're going to try to break this line. So we got the ball here. He passes to the two players in, so it has to be a pass to the two players in here to start. Okay? It can't dribble in, it can't anything. It has to be a pass to one of these players. And now what we allow is this 4v2, this 2v2 can become a 4v4 by having two players then enter the grid and create a 4v2. So if you can break the line, the initial line, you can then send your players forward and then try to break the next line and then eventually go to score to goal. So we're getting concepts of advancing the ball. How do you break that line? How do you get past that line? How does that create space? How do we attack that space? And how do we ultimately lead this into a scoring opportunity? So we're just kind of scaling it up as we go along to make it to drive home that concept of breaking line leads to this eventual outcome. From there, I'm going to go into a game I like to play called long transitions. So transitions is a game we often play. Just a quick transitional game. 4 teams on and off. You shoot, you score, you stay on, you get a ball from your goalie, you miss, you're off, the other team gets a ball. It's rapid paced. In this one, same thing. All right, I'll put 3 players on here. No, 4. And I'll put 4 players back here. And I'll put in yellow 3, 4, and then 4 players back here. And this one you would have a goalie. I can't. Here we go. Need a goalie for this one because so we'll have starts with team in black. Here's attacking yellow. Okay, they drive downfield. They play a pass here. Bang. This guy runs onto it. And gets a shot off. Now everyone followed that shot. Maybe they score, maybe they don't. But everyone's now followed that shot and is up here. Okay? Yellow's down here. As soon as that ball either goes in the net or crosses the end line, these 4 players jog off. And we have a player already ready with the ball here for a quick transition moment. Okay? And so we're looking, if these guys are all pushed up here, right? Maybe he makes his run down here. Hey, can we initially break this line? And we're going to be scot-free. So if we maybe make a run here, and we play quickly, and the line's here, we break this line, we now create space behind them. So we're looking for quick line breaking situations. If we don't quickly break the line, and the 4 new players enter the field, these players have time to get back, and it's harder to break the line because now the line is pushed further back. So now we're doing it in more of a game situation, specifically a transitional moment of using the transitional moment to break lines and attack space behind and go quickly. So again, they're up here, break a line quickly, lots of space in behind. They're back here. We have to draw them forward by dribbling in to get the line to move forward and then try to break the line there. And we're worried about breaking the line, but breaking the line so there's space in between. So same thing, yellow drives down here. They shoot, score, whatever. This team jogs off. And this new team has the ball ready, and they're ready to go. And we just rotate and transition like that. So again, getting that concept of, okay, we broke a line. What do we do with it? Why are we breaking a line? What are we doing with the space in between it? How do we move off that once we've broken the line? Where are we moving to? What's our decision making after that? And discussing those things with the players as we go along. And then ultimately bringing it into a scrimmage and seeing what we can do and how well we're able to break lines and when to break lines and when to hold the ball, when to go backwards. Is all things you can definitely discuss. Was this a situation to break a line? Was it not a situation to break a line? Did breaking the line here force us into a bad spot because maybe the lines were too tight and you broke the line but you played directly into the next line and things like that and bring it into much more of a game-like situation with the full-sided scrimmage and see if we can pull things from the rest of the session into our scrimmage. So love to hear in the transition, in the comments, some of the things that you guys discuss in terms of breaking lines and how you kind of conceptualize that and bring that to life for your players in that chalk talk before the session that I've described. So, and once again, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching with the help of Academy Sports Coach 2025. I hope this session finds you well.